Welcome to the City United Methodist Church located in Gary, Indiana, one of the most infamous abandoned churches. Construction would begin in 1925 and take 21 months at a cost of $800,000, which was a huge sum of money for back then. The first church service would be held on October 3rd of 1926. Membership would peak in the 1950s when it would surpass 3,000. The city of Gary would see a sharp downward spiral beginning in the 1960s. This would affect the church because its congregation was predominantly white. The city of Gary was experiencing white flight as more African Americans fled into the city, bringing along with them crime, pushing out the white middle class. Crime rates in the city were soaring, and by 1973, there were only 320 members in the aging congregation. Several attempts were made to sell the church and keep it running, but with the increasing crime rates, this would fail, and the church would eventually close in 1975. This place had been on my radar for a long time. I'd heard about Gary, Indiana, and how similar it was to Detroit, and that you could just explore all of these really cool abandoned buildings, but I've never really lived close enough to Gary, Indiana, to where I could easily make a trip there. Well, I finally was like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to drive 5 hours and visit Gary, Indiana, which most of you would say, are you nuts? That's stupid. But I did, and I'm so glad that I did, because this church was awesome. And it wasn't really for what was inside, because it was pretty well stripped and gutted, but just the natural decay of the place. Yes, there was some graffiti here and there, but for the most part, it was just falling apart naturally, and it was beautiful. Let's head over to the Union Station, also located in Gary, Indiana. It was built in 1910, just 4 years after the city was founded. The station is located between two elevated lines. The first one is the Lakeshore and Michigan Southern Railway, and the second being the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. And unfortunately, that's all the history I could find on the place. I tried to figure out when the place closed, or even when the last train was, but I didn't find any information on that. There is a group that's supposedly trying to maintain the place and restore it and preserve it for future generations to enjoy. And I love that. And I also love that they have all of these, this graffiti all over the place around here. I wouldn't really call it graffiti. It's more like art. Because, wow, oh wow. Unfortunately, I couldn't get inside the place, but I was able to look through a few of the windows so you can see, what the inside looked like. If you like urban exploration and abandoned things, then why not check out this video right here on the screen right now. Oh, and don't forget to comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and give the video a thumbs up, and I'll catch you on another episode of Urbex.